this is an ideological difference between Nigel and me.
Yeah.
Nigel claimed Brexit was done in 2020 and vacated the battlefield. And I said, no, it's not done. And I stayed to fight for Northern Ireland and for fishing and getting rid of net zero, etc. And the minute the job is done, if the United Kingdom is saved and we get rid of this liberalism that's undermining democracy, we get back to ruling the United Kingdom and not trying to govern for global betterment. And we re-energize our democracy by getting rid of these quangos and international law and international institutions, I'll be gone. But I suspect, given the conditions of my leaving, I'll be here for a very long time, because it doesn't seem like any of those goals are going to be achieved anytime soon. But it's not about me. It's really not about me, Mark. I swear it's not about me.
Oh, absolutely. No, you've really sacrificed it all for your principles. That's our view. And people can make up their own minds. If they really look into the detail of what you were trying to say, it was a long-term ambition rather than a short-term fix. So where do you sit with reform now? Are you in reform, Ben?
So Nigel declared on Channel 4 on Friday last week that Ben Habib is not even a member of Reform.
Right.
And I haven't resigned as a member. I may, of course, not be a member. But if I wasn't a member, then I was deputy leader and not a member. I certainly haven't resigned as a member since I was sacked as deputy leader. So I don't know where I am with Reform, but it would appear that I'm not a member.
It would. I mean, he publicly came out and said that, and I sort of nearly choked on my coffee at the time when I was watching it. But it is very messy, and it's something I think that they really should have a resolve one way or another, because it doesn't look good.
No, it's not ideal.
It's not ideal, but this happens in every single political party, and it always seems that those, ideological differences. We'll put this to you. Nigel Farage was speaking during one of his many interviews online. Stephen was interviewing him, I believe, from
Edgington.
News. Yeah. And he said that he doesn't want to talk about deportations. He's not interested in this at all. He doesn't want to be dragged into this conversation. Now, this is news to a lot of people, and it's horrifying when we have President Trump, a great friend of his, talking about millions of people being deported gradually through the years, and also under Blair. This is in the news. This is in the news doing the rounds that Blair was deporting under Blunkett when he was the Home Secretary. He was deporting about 40,000 people a year maximum.
Yeah.
What are your views on deportation, Ben, in the United States?
I think anyone in this country illegally should be deported immediately. Anyone who enters this country illegally should not have any right to stay here whatsoever. There's no right to stay. Obviously, if you're here legally, then that's a different matter. But the other thing that Nigel said, which was quite interesting to me, was that he wasn't concerned about the demographic changes in society. He was more interested in the way that society integrates. And I completely agree that integration is crucial. But integration becomes impossible if you have far too many people coming into the country, every year. And we can't, no matter what you do towards integration, you can't cope if you're overwhelmed. And I think that point needs to be made.
So we've got 180,000 people approximately being housed at the moment. We've got 10,000 coming over, we believe, from the Lebanon under Starmer's instructions to the Royal Navy. So you're talking at 200,000 people that are here, that have come here illegally. Now, we took it that it would be a sensible approach to start taking these people back.
Why do you say start, Mark? I just say in an ideal world, they should all go back right now. Not start taking them. They should all go back right now. Why are they here? Why has our government allowed elements into our society across our border about whom we know nothing and given them free run of our society to assault if necessary and to exploit, but possibly assault our society? It makes no sense to me. If you enter this country illegally, you should be detained, you should be put behind bars, and you should be put on the first plane back to wherever it is you came from. And if we haven't got a deportation arrangement with them, you stay behind bars.
Indeed, we're bringing we can bring 10,000 people out of the Lebanon, at whim, at the click of our fingers. We've got 700 Royal Navy personnel on standby to
Going out,
evacuate 10,000 people. So if you can take 10,000 people out in a couple of days, surely to God, you can actually start to take people back to France or where the last port of call. And we keep hearing all this nonsense from the human rights lawyers that they've got the right to settle wherever they bloody want. Well, surely to goodness, that depends on what the host can do. We've no capacity, etc., etc. But